All right, y'all. So it does look like our second Pixel Watch, I almost said pickle, our second Pixel Watch, first generation, does seem to be charging properly now. Now, I just plugged it in, and it wasn't doing anything, but unlike the first time, when I pushed the power button, I can see a charging indicator. Unlike the last time, when I pushed the charging button, I got nothing. This time, I got a charging indicator. So it does seem like it's charging. So I'm going to leave it here and let it charge up. And they say it's supposed to take an hour to fully charge. So I'm going to let it sit. I think the full charge time is an hour and 10 minutes. So I'm going to let it sit, and I'll come back in an hour and 10 minutes, and it should be fully charged. Then I'll be able to go through the setup. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. And there it is. This Pixel Watch first generation finally got enough charge to indicate that it's taking a charge. So there was definitely something wrong with the first one I got, but it does seem like this second one does seem to be working properly. We're going to let it charge up, and I'll come back with the setup and the first impressions. Alright, y'all going to see that first clip in 2 clips, because I was like, man, but it does seem to be charging, so let's let it charge up, and I'll be back. And the watch just vibrated, and the Google logo popped up, and yeah, it's looking for a phone to pair to, but I'm not gonna pair it just yet. I'm gonna let it sit for the actual full hour and let it get a full charge. There it is. So now it's up to 11%. And yeah, also I want to let everyone know this entire unboxing and first impressions and setup video is being recorded in 4K at 30 FPS. Y'all already know on what device if y'all checked out the other clips. But yeah, now we're going to let it charge up. And yeah, it's steadily searching for a device to connect to. But we're going to let it sit for the full hour and 10 minutes. Hour and 10 minutes. The full hour and 50 minutes. Okay? It takes 110 minutes to reach a full charge. That's an hour and 50 minutes. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, and I just wanted to show y'all. This is everything that came with the watch. So we got the books, and we also got an extra band as well. And I have to say, this other Pixel Watch first generation, it was a lot better packaged than the other one. The first one, both of these are in used, like new condition, but the first one had really bad packaging. But this second one is definitely, or it was definitely, a lot better packaged. Okay? And I'm going to put up the B-roll in post. The first one, as I put on my community tab, was just over $60. I think it was $60.90. This second one was just over $68. Okay? I'll put up my digital receipt in post, but I just wanted y'all to see the packaging. Really nice packaging, original packaging. Got the original box with the original books and an extra band. All right? All right. Now I'm going to cut to everything set up on my table, and we're going to go through the initial setup and my first impressions. And yeah, I might even do an application walkthrough as well. So y'all are going to see that next clip next. And this whole video is being recorded with the rear-facing cameras on the iPhone 15 Plus. So that's the primary 48 megapixel camera and the secondary 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera. All right? I'll see you guys in a little bit, and we're going to have everything set up in the traditional reviewer style angle at my desk. I'll be right back. All right, everyone. Now, let's get into my first impressions with the first generation Google Pixel Watch. And then let's do a real quick walkthrough of the 2 companion applications for the Google Pixel Watch. And please don't be worried. I'll link up everything you guys and gals need to know, including the affiliate buy links as to where you guys and gals can pick up anything featured in today's video, and along with some of my other favorite smartwatch coverage if you would like to check out similar content so you guys and gals can get an idea of what the coverage is going to be like for the Pixel Watch right here. All of that good stuff will be linked up down below in the video description. So the video description should be like a one-stop shop for you guys and gals, and you should be good to go. And as the name implies, if you do see something that you're interested in and you would like to pick it up, using the affiliate links down below in the video description, do go towards helping out the channel, because I do get a small commission from those affiliate links that I do put back into the channel, and that's at no additional cost to you guys and gals. So I consider those affiliate links a win-win, in my opinion, for everyone. All right, let's get into my overall first impressions with the Google Pixel Watch first generation, and let's walk through the 2 companion applications. Now, in regards to my first impressions with the first generation Google Pixel Watch, I do have to say I do really like the overall build and design and the overall look of the watch. It does look really, really good, okay? But that being said, I do have some concerns already, all right? Number 1 is the charging, and in particular, the charging mechanism, right? As y'all have seen from the other clips prior to this main clip, I did notice there is a kind of alignment issue with the charging puck, to where you have to align it perfectly so that the watch can get its charging properly. So I'm gonna have to watch that closely, all right? Another thing that I'm gonna be watching closely in my review process with the first generation Pixel Watch is the overall longevity. Now, due to what happened to me with the first Pixel Watch that I ordered, and I went ahead and left a community post on my community tab on my YouTube page, so check that out if you would like to know exactly what happened. But this is the second Pixel Watch first generation that I picked up. I had to send the first one back because it was not taking a charge at all. I tried all the chargers that I have. I even tried my charging station, and with my particular charging station, when I plug it in and I charge the device, it lets me know what wattage that device that's charging is drawing. So when I plugged it in with the first initial Pixel Watch, it was not drawing any charge. And I let it sit there for about 45 minutes to an hour, and it still wasn't drawing any charge, so I had to send that back. But kudos to Amazon for having a really good return policy and really good customer service, because I was actually able to get that handled very quick, fast, and in a hurry. But during the extra research, wow, I can't talk tonight, that I was able to do while waiting for this Pixel Watch to come in, I did notice that longevity for the Pixel Watch in general seems to be an issue. And that goes for all generations of the Pixel Watch, the first gen, the second gen, the third gen. Longevity seems to be an issue, and I was kind of disappointed to see that, because I've had my Apple Watch SE first generation for what feels like forever now. I think it's like going on 8 months. Now, this particular Apple Watch I did pick up with the Amazon Renewed Premium program, so I have regular warranty, and then I have an additional year of warranty. But my Apple Watch is working perfectly, and I haven't had any issues. But I did notice in my additional research that a lot of the additional reviews that I've read and experiences that I've come across said that the first generation Pixel Watch, or the Pixel Watches in general, don't seem to have really good longevity. At the most, for the first generation, a lot of people were saying their watch pretty much died under a year of having it. And it's really funny because Google actually offers a full year of warranty from Google directly. And a few of those people even commented that their warranty was not honored by their seller or by Google. So that really does disturb me, okay? Especially being someone that's trying to compare Apple and their ecosystem to the Apple of Android and Google and their ecosystem. You really want something just as reliable as what you might see from an Apple product. Like iPhones, which is what I'm using to record this video here today, is something that is known to be super reliable. Same too is the Apple Watch, same too is the iPad, same too is the MacBook, same too is the Mac Mini. This is one of the reasons why Apple is predominantly popular, all right? You do have to pay a really big price to play, but Apple tends to have the longevity and the reliability in spades. And being that the Google Pixel lineup is supposed to be the Apple of Android, I was expecting to see the same longevity, all right? And I'm kind of disappointed that a lot of people were having a really bad experience in terms of the overall longevity. I think the fastest device that I saw die said it died in about 4 months. And again, the longest device that I saw that they said died after regular usage was about 11 months. So that leads me to believe that I now have to do a deep dive on this particular smartwatch right here and see just how long it lives. Now, this is disappointing because I was actually planning on picking up and giving away 2 of these. All right? But I always like to give away products that I know people are going to get a lot of usage out of, and it's going to fit into their life very nicely. And most importantly, it's going to be reliable. Okay? I don't want to give something to someone and it dies within 4 months, it dies within 6 months, you know, something that they've really come to use and depend on, and all of a sudden they wake up one day and it doesn't work. I hate that. Okay? That's like when you give somebody something and they really enjoy it and it dies, like you give somebody a car or something of that nature, and they really come to depend on it and rely on it, and all of a sudden they wake up one day and it doesn't work. Hate that. That's like the worst feeling in the world. So I will have to do a deep dive review on the Pixel Watch first generation and see just how long it holds up and report back to you guys and gals just how long it holds up, okay? But I wasn't planning on doing that originally. I was planning on keeping this watch for about 3 to maybe 6 months at the most, and then, you know, wrapping up all my coverage and giving away 2 Pixel Watches and moving on to the next thing. All right? But because of the experience that I've had so far and all the reviews that I've read, that kind of led me to want to review it basically until it either outlasts everybody else's experience or until it dies. All right, so that's what we're going to do. But y'all can still expect my full overall coverage on the Pixel Watch, like all of my other smartwatch coverage. Okay? But with that being said, my experience so far has been really good. Now, there are some things that I'm a little concerned about. Like, number one, in regards to the Pixel Watch, you actually need 2 applications, and you can see both of them right here. You need the Google Pixel Watch application, and you need the Fitbit application. Now, both of these are free, but you do, if you want to unlock additional features with the Fitbit application, you will have to pay a premium subscription. But all of the baseline functionality can be accessed, but you do have to use these two applications. All right, so that's one thing that concerns me right out of the box, along with the charging. As I said, you really have to make sure that you line up the Pixel Watch on the charger perfectly for it to actually start getting a charge. So that's going to be very, very concerning, okay? Because I actually got this the other day, and I put it on the charger, and I went to watch the first night of WrestleMania, and I came back at about 8:30 thinking that it would be fully charged, and it wasn't. Only to realize that it was slightly out of alignment, so it wasn't really getting the best charge. And then it finally charged up at about 12:29 yesterday morning, okay? So it actually took a very long time to charge. Y'all can do the math from 7:01 to 12:29. That's how long it took to get the first initial charge. And then during the setup process, it did fall into a deep sleep mode to where it was unresponsive, and I had to do a hard reset on the watch to make it regain responsiveness again so I can pair it up to my device. So the setup experience, although it was straightforward, it was a little bit cumbersome because of the issues that I had with the watch. And it's actually recommended that you don't let the watch go into a deep sleep mode, because it's actually very hard to get the watch out of deep sleep mode. So I'm a little bit concerned with that as well. But overall, I would have to say in general, my first impressions of the Google Pixel Watch first generation have been really good from a usage, average user standpoint. It has been really good. I just used it for over a day, didn't have any issues, was able to take my phone calls, get my notifications, dictate my text messages, interact with my assistant, and control all of my smart products, no problems, okay? But that initial setup was a little cumbersome, all right? But it is what it is. It's working. We're going to see how it goes moving forward. Now, let's talk about, and let me give y'all a deep dive into the two companion applications. Let's start off with application number one, which is going to be the primary application that you need, the Google Pixel Watch application, okay? And again, remember, I'll have links to everything that you need available down below in the video description. So the Google Pixel application and the Fitbit application, I will have linked up down below in the video description. But talking about the Pixel Watch application here, you just launch it and you add a new device. It scans for your device, and you want to make sure that your watch is in pairing mode. Now again, if your watch goes into deep sleep, you want to do a hard reset. And to do a hard reset, you either hold the crown for 3 to 5 seconds, and you'll see the screen flash, and then it will come up and it will tell you, do you want to do a restart? Do you want to do a power off? Or you can go into the settings and do a factory reset. Now what I did is I did a restart, and then it popped up and started working, okay? But that's what you want to do if you need to do a hard reset. Then you want to come in here and pair the watch and go through the setup process and sign into your accounts. Once you sign into your accounts, you'll be greeted with this page right here where you'll see your watch face. You'll see your device's connected status, okay? You'll see the battery percentage of the watch, and you'll see when it was last synced to both applications. So you can see mine synced to the Fitbit application less than a minute ago, all right? And it's warning me that my battery is low and I need to go drop it on the charger. Okay, well, we're not going to worry about that right now, because I'm actually going to take this directly into a charging test once it drops to 5%. So y'all be on the lookout for the short with the charging test in a later video that should be coming up soon. All right, but below that, we have our watch faces, and all you have to do is tap on it, and you're greeted with all of your stock watch faces. Now, by default, I'm going to tell you the ones that you have. You have this one, which is utility. You have this one, which is analog bold. You have this one, which is the adventure. You have this one, which is analog arches. You have this one, which is index. You have this one, which is large scale. You have this one, which is classic. You have this one, which is everyday. And then this one here is what I've added in the additional watch faces section. But by default, these are the ones that you have. Okay? And you can swipe through them, and you can add more at any time by clicking down here and clicking on the add watch faces. And then you can get a wide variety of extra watch faces. And again, because this is Android, you could then go out to the Play Store at any time and get you a watch face application that's compatible with your Google Pixel Watch. Okay? But just talking about some of the watch faces that's available from inside of the stock application itself. Once you decide which watch face you want, you select it, and then you can go in and you can edit it just by hitting on the edit tab here. And then you can go in and you can change the color, you can change the different layouts, you can change the different widgets that appear on the watch face. And you can see we do have a large variety to choose from. And this particular one that I've been using has 3. And y'all can see what I have set up right down there. And you can see what color I have and the layout I have right there as well. But it really does depend on which watch face you want. That determines how many customizations you can have. Like primarily before I loaded up that one, I was using this one right here, the index. And then before I was using the index, I was using this one right here, which is utility. And you can see if we go into utility, we have a little bit more customizations for utility. So we have a few more different layouts. And if you change the layouts, you will see the changes in real time. So you can see that's one. Here's another one. And then there's the other one. Okay, let's go back to the first one. And then after that, depending on the layout that you choose, you get different customizations. So this one, you can add more widgets that display. Okay? So that's that. And again, you have a large variety of customizations you can add here. All right? Now, aside from that, right, you can also customize your different tiles or your different additional widgets by tapping on the tiles area here, and then you can customize all the different tiles or widgets or additional watch faces that appear on the watch. And y'all can see what I have set up here. I'll show you this in a little bit more detail in a second here, but I have the main goal, which is the steps. I have the heart rate, I have the workouts, and I have my 3 favorite workouts already preloaded. So for me, that's indoor cycling, indoor walking on the treadmill, and weightlifting, because that's what I do primarily. Then I have my sleep tracking. Now, the sleep tracking, you'll only get full access to if you download and sign up with an account for the Fitbit application. If you don't download and sign up with an account for the Fitbit application, you won't gain access to the sleep tracking. Okay? But then you can see I have my calendar, I have the weather, then I have my Google Assistant and the Google Maps. Okay? And that's how I currently have my setup in terms of my watch faces and my widgets. But you can see inside this application, you can control just about everything. Okay? Except for checking for additional updates. You have to check for additional updates straight from the watch itself. But everything else you can do from the companion application here. Okay? Okay. Pretty much self-explanatory other than that. And really, the application is really quite nice. I just wish there was a way to update the watch from the application. You could do everything from the watch except for update it. You have to update it directly from the watch itself. So that's one nitpick or major disappointment that I have with the Google Pixel Watch already in less than a day of usage. Okay? But I have to say the companion application, especially the main companion application, is very nicely laid out and very, very straightforward. Okay? Okay. Now, other than that, you do want to get yourself the Fitbit application. All right? And now with the Fitbit application, this is how you gain access to additional things. But for me, I only did this because I want to gain access to the sleep tracking. For me, my sleep tracking, my steps, and things of that nature are very, very important. So that's something I wanted to make sure that I have. Now, side note, with the Fitbit application, when you first set it up, it will ask you if you want to use a premium subscription, right? Now, you can get more additional features when you use that premium subscription, but it's not a must. And they will actually prompt you to get that premium subscription twice when you're installing and setting up the Fitbit application. So you just want to make sure that when it pops up to prompt you, you hit that little X in the upper left-hand corner when it pops up to tell you about the premium subscription. Make sure you don't accidentally start the premium subscription, because then they'll be charging you after the free period window is over. So keep that in mind. And again, like I said, they will prompt you twice, but inside of the Fitbit application here, you can get coaching, you can see your steps, you can see your sleep tracking and all of your things here. But you can also see these things from inside of the Google Fit application, right? And you can go ahead and you can sync up all of that information inside of the Google Fit application, right? But from the watch itself, you won't be able to see the sleep tracking unless you have the Fitbit application set up and installed. But everything that you can see from the Fitbit application, you can see inside of the Google Fit application. Okay? Just wanted to make sure everyone kept that in mind. And you can always go ahead and sync it up from here as well. Okay? So you can sync Fitbit with this, and you can see all your information from here. And I've actually been using this for years to track all of my metrics. Okay? So I just wanted to show y'all that as well. So that's a real quick walkthrough of the companion applications that you'll need with the Google Pixel Watch first generation. Now, let's go through a walkthrough on the watch itself, and then let's wrap this video up. I don't want to make this too long. But starting off here, let's talk about basic navigation. Now, two ways that you can power on the device are by tapping the crown or by tapping the side key here, right? Now, if you tap the crown, that will automatically take you back to home or take you to your applications, and you can rotate the crown to go through your applications, and at any point, you could tap it again to go back to your main home watch face. Now, if you hit the side key here, this is how you can get to your additional things, right? By tapping on that. Or you can do a press and hold to do like a hard restart or activate your voice assistant, okay? You can also activate your voice assistant just by bringing the watch up and saying the phrase, all right? So those are the two ways that you can do that, all right? So you can either press and hold here and start talking. Now it's kind of hard for me to feel for it, but you can press and hold here and start talking. And then you can let go and it's gonna do what it do. Let's stop it. Or you can just press it once and it will do what the crown does as well. So, you know, press it once, it takes you to your apps. Press it again, it takes you back to your main watch face. press and hold, and it launches your Google Assistant, and you can start talking. Okay? Just like that. Now, if you swipe down from your main home screen, it's going to bring up your quick toggles. And to get to your updates, you got to come in here, hit the gear icon, go down to system, and then you can check for updates. And you can see I do have an update available, but you have to put the watch on the charger before it will start installing the update. Now, you can back up or go home at any time by pushing the back key, okay, or pushing the crown, okay? Pushing the back key will take you back one. Pushing the crown will take you all the way home, all right? Now, if we swipe up, this is where you can see all of your notifications and either respond to them or take action on them or dismiss them, okay? That's if you swipe up. Now, if you swipe left or right, you can swipe through your additional toggles or watch faces, or I like to call it widgets. And this is where you can see what I talked about earlier, the different widgets or tiles that I set up. Okay? Okay. And that's pretty much it in terms of basic navigation on the watch. And I have to say the navigation on the watch is very fluid, seamless, and straightforward. I like that a lot. Okay? And it does also have always on display. So if I tilt it down, it will go into always on display mode. And you can see then our seconds stop ticking. All right? But if I tilt it up, you can see the seconds will start ticking. And that's how I know the watch is on. So it's really, really nice to see that it has a always on display mode. Especially considering coming from something like my Apple Watch SE doesn't have a always on display mode. So that's a really nice additional feature to see already. Okay? But yeah, first impressions of the watches software, it does seem to be really, really good. Now, one concern that I have with the watch software itself is that it does support the latest version of Wear OS at Wear OS 5.1 based on Android 15, but I did notice, again, due to my research, that a lot of people running the latest version of Wear OS, their watches have become unresponsive. So I'm not entirely sure if I want to install the latest version of Wear OS or if I just want to leave it on the version that it's on right now. I'll go ahead and throw up the version for y'all in post so y'all can see that. But that's one thing that I've been torn about because I just got the watch, and although I would really want to be running the most up-to-date software like what I have on my phone right here, I don't want to run the risk of making the watch that I just picked up and purchased unresponsive because of a software update. And that's one thing that Google is aware of, and because of that, they've actually paused the software rollout for their Pixel watches until they can figure out all the bugs and issues that are making the watches unresponsive. So that's something else that I was concerned about. Even though I would really like to have the latest and greatest software, I don't want to really brick my device, especially when I just got it. So that's another thing. We'll have to see. I'll keep checking back and see if they actually resolve the issues. But if they don't, I probably won't update the software. But that also has a risk of when the software becomes too far outdated, then it can also make it tend to be unresponsive at times. That's because they always recommend you do keep it up to date with the latest and greatest software. But I'm kind of scared to do so because, again, I don't want to brick the device. I just got the device. Yeah. So I'll let you guys know how that pans out in future videos. But this has been my unboxing and first impressions and software walkthrough of the setup of the Google Pixel Watch first generation. Now, y'all stay tuned because all of my continued coverage on the smartwatch will be coming soon, and everything will culminate in my full review of the smartwatch coming on way later, coming on down the line way later, and I will let you guys and gals know if this Pixel Watch first generation is still worth picking up here in 2025. Alright, so I hope you guys and gals enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys and gals found it helpful. If you did, please help your boy out by giving the video a thumbs up. That really does help me out. You don't know how much. Remember, if you guys and gals would like to see more content like this, please check out the video description for similar videos. And also, check out and click off the subscription bell down below. And hit the subscribe button right next to it. This way you're guaranteed to get notified when new videos go live on the channel. Hope everyone is having a great day. Hope you guys and gals are staying safe out there. And I will catch everyone in the next video. Have a good one, everybody. We're out of here. Peace. Alright, now I gotta let this run down another 2% because I'm gonna do my first battery test at 5%, 10%, 15%, and 20%. So I gotta let this run down 2 more percent before I drop it on the charger. So y'all stay tuned because that first charging test video is coming soon. Alright, have a good one, everyone. I'll catch you guys and gals in the next one. Peace. We're out of here.